Over the past several months, we have lost employees and high school students. As their families and friends continue to mourn their loss, our school community is sharing in their sadness. As a school district and board of school directors, we extend our thoughts and deepest condolences to the families, friends, peers, faculty, staff, and colleagues who lost important members of our South Fayette family. Loss can be felt in many ways, and each person's response is valid. We also want to recognize that times like these can be especially difficult. Support is available for anyone who needs it. School counselors and mental health professionals are available to students and staff, and we encourage members of our community to reach out to trusted adults or local support services. At this time, we invite everyone who is able to join us in a moment of silence to honor those who have lost and to hold space for those who are grieving. Thank you. As a community, we will continue to support one another, care for our students and staff, and move forward together with compassion. If you or someone you know needs additional support, please reach out to our school resources or community services. Janice Sowers, presentation.
So good evening. Thank you very much for having me here. My name is Janice Sowers. I am a corporate engagement manager and growth specialist with United Way of Southwestern Pennsylvania. I'm here tonight to recognize South Fayette as one of our champion school districts for the 2025-2026 school year. This was actually our second year of this champion school district initiative, and this is your first year participating in it. Thanks to Dr. Herring, he connected with me. I told him about this program and he said, yes, we're in, we're going to do this. I have the perfect group that's going to participate. So just a brief background, the main goal of this program is to bring together students, faculty, community around that common idea of philanthropy. But then also we want to make those positive changes and impact in the community where people go to school, where they work, where they live. So all we asked any participating district to do was to complete 3 tasks, as well as a brief video that would document what they completed throughout the year and the impact that it made in the community. So tasks were completed between October 1st and March 2nd. 2 of the tasks were asked to be kind of a volunteer-based task. Think maybe like a food drive, a blood drive, mini-thon. And then the 3rd task centered around fundraising that would come to United Way. So South Fayette, you all have certainly done more than enough school community events that have checked the box for kind of those 2 volunteer-based tasks. But then your shout group for the fundraising task decided to host a Dubai chocolate sale. They did host this during their lunch periods. I was actually there on site. It was really impressive. They sold out by their 2nd period lunch, I think it was. It was very popular. They did a great job. They ended up raising about $275 that came to United Way. But as a side note, I go into a lot of schools. I work with a lot of different kids in the districts. This is probably nothing new to any of you, but your shout group are some of the most impressive young students and individuals that I've gotten to work with out of a lot of districts. They are respectful. They were leaders. They were organized. It's all the good things that I could say, right, about a group of students. That's who they are. I think that's a testament to Dr. Herring as well. So they completed their tasks, and that's why I'm here to present you with this very large banner that you can hang potentially in your gym, on a building outside. It's just your way to let the community know that you earned this recognition, and it's something that we hope that you're very proud of because we appreciate the partnership. So I don't know if you had anyone to speak.
Absolutely, I
Okay.
do. We have our president, Anya, and Anya and Gotti, and we have our vice president, Malik Saeed, and they're going to share a few words, and then we'll unroll this gentleman's banner.
Hi, like Dr. Herring just said, my name is Anya Gadi and I am the president of Shout. Tell you a little bit of Shout. We are a student-based leadership group that mold, mentors, and train students into leaders. We focus on making the school a culturally affirming safe space for all students, faculty, and staff. And we are so honored and grateful to be able to earn and be recognized for this award from the United Way for the South Fayette Township School District. You may actually know Shout from a few different events, including the Garba, the virtual tour of Latin America, the community iftar, and maybe our most recognized event, the Uncommon Conference, which this year brought 32 schools and over 600 students for the event.
My name is Malik Saeed. I am the vice president of Shout, and I'd like to share some initiatives that contributed to this recognition. One of our current projects is a Dubai chocolate fundraiser, which we are working on. We're looking to perfect Dubai chocolate bars with the Shout logo on to help raise funds for our programs. We've also focused heavily on bringing meaningful experiences to students through guest speakers. For example, Dr. Andre Samuel spoke to students about his powerful journey overcoming addiction and homelessness to becoming a successful scientist who now runs a science lab. His story was incredibly impactful and inspiring. In addition, we hosted a So You Want to Be in Medicine panel, which I had the opportunity to lead. It featured doctors from a wide range of specialties, including leaders in medical education, and they gave students valuable insight into careers in healthcare. We also organized a Women in Tech panel in honor of Women's History Month, highlighting the importance of representation in a traditionally male-dominated field. It was especially meaningful to have our own teacher, Mrs. Lortz, on there, and a student's mother who works for Google to come in and share their experiences. Students were highly engaged throughout all these panels, and they asked thoughtful questions throughout. Overall, Shout is committed to creating opportunities and inspiring more students like this. Thank you. Now for our banner.
And you guys are following, we're going to start the pool. Oh, you guys are on.
I think you all should.
You guys, you go over there. Hold on. I need to talk. You can't, don't have, you come on this side, come on this side. Come on this side. We need more people to hold over here. And then the rest of you guys. That's the banner that actually, that we can find somewhere to go. We would like to be posted outside on the building. Come on up, keep going that way, keep going that way.
Everybody look at John and then we'll switch the family.
Wait, you're letting me fall down, you're letting me fall, there we go. Hold it. Just want to bring it up. Just bring it up. Come on, come on.
And Dr. Middle has to stay with me. Come on up here, Dr. Middle. So I have as we have our Shout students leave, your family's leaving you right now, right?
Well, I have more family.
Which is wonderful. So it is truly an honor and a privilege to recognize Dr. Middle this evening. Dr. Middle and I have worked together for the past several years on so many different things, and she just is a rock in our high school for so many students. She is a high school biology teacher. But the reason that I am sharing tonight is because she was nominated as a beacon of hope by the Pennsylvania chapter of National Association for Multicultural Education. And she was nominated for meaningful impact that she makes within her educational community and for her courageous, justice-centered leadership. Dr. Middle was nominated for I apologize, at South Fayette High School. She serves as our co-sponsor of Shout. So she was here with so many of her students, partnering with students to cultivate leaders who challenge injustice, think critically about their world around them, and act with empathy and conviction. And through her work also as a Teach Plus policy fellow, she's engaged in statewide advocacy, and we've had many conversations about that, to strengthen and diversify the educator pipeline and champion equitable representation and opportunity. In addition, I don't know how she has so much time, but Dr. Middle also serves as a BEAM, which is Belonging, Empowerment, and Mentorship Facilitator for educators of color in Southwestern Pennsylvania, helping to build spaces where educators can lead boldly, support one another, and sustain their impact. And she is a founding member of Teaching is My Favorite Color, and we were one of 3 partner schools, along with Hampton and Avonworth, to create an affinity group aiming to establish a robust ecosystem where educators of color can collaborate, learn from one another, and access meaningful mentorship opportunities. Dr. Middle believes students flourish when they feel genuinely seen and heard, and when their cultural identities are honored as strengths and represented by their educators. Dr. Middle, on behalf of the board and the district, we want to congratulate you on this well-deserved recognition. Thank you for your leadership, your compassion, your vision, for all that you bring to your students, not only the students you serve through Shout and all of the different organizations that you serve. And you're just always that kids always boomerang back to you. And I love that about you, but also that the work as an educator in biology here in our district. You represent all things great here at South Fayette. And so congratulations. You want to say anything?
I didn't come prepared to share anything, but all I just want to say, I'm just truly honored and truly humbled by this recognition. The students are at the heart of everything, and I'm just truly blessed that I've had wonderful mentors here like Dr. Miller, Dr. Dykler, Dr. Herring, that have really helped shape me into the educator I am today. Thank you.
On our agenda, we were also going to recognize Dr. Matt Collison. Unfortunately, he is not feeling so well, and so I asked him to just stay home, and that we'll recognize him another night. So we will we'll do that in a future meeting.
So to our students, we are about to get into some construction. So if you want to leave, you can feel free. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome.
Did you see them run?
Are you leaving too? Okay, I'll give an update on the 2 projects that are currently ongoing. Then I'll turn it over to Draw to give an overview of the bid results today for the elementary school. I'll start with the intermediate school. As you can see, progress has ramped up on the addition over there in the last month. The GC has completed all the slab on deck concrete pours. Just today completed the slab on grade pour. They started the exterior framing and sheathing, which these 2 pictures show. This is a couple weeks old when we had that snow. So they're making an effort to get the building enclosed as quickly as possible to keep the recovery schedule moving forward. The MEP trades and the interior contractor has started on the 2nd floor. Interior walls were started to be framed today. The mechanical, plumbing, and electrical contractors are in there roughing in ductwork. Mechanical piping, roof drain piping, and plumbing piping where available. So there is a huge effort to be made to improve the recovery plan that R.I. Glancy put together. And we're seeing that effort here in the last really 4 to 5 weeks. Like I mentioned, the group continues to work with Glancy to take any opportunities to improve the critical path to meet the date. He owes us a scheduled update here at the end of March. So we'll see where it lands here in the next couple of weeks. A couple of pictures of the slab on deck that they poured a few weeks ago. This was the slab on grade prep. And like I mentioned, they're just finishing over there literally right now. They put in almost a 15-hour day and poured the entire slab on grade today. The stairs for the structure did arrive on site, and those have been installed. I'll pull a portion of those from the first floor up to the second floor, and they'll finish the first down to the ground here after the slab on grade cures. So the IS continues to move along. Any questions related to the IS progress? There is a change order on the agenda tonight, which I think was discussed at the work session last Tuesday-ish. It's for the unforeseen condition of the rain garden, where some of the structure was damaged that needs repaired, and some of the work that needs done at the corner of the addition that conflicts with the addition and the existing rain garden. The bus depot facility got started about a month ago. As you can see, when you drive Old Oakdale Road, they started the work. Really, the site clearing, the mobilization, and their rock construction entrance there right across from the middle school has been completed. They're currently working on finalizing all the erosion and sediment controls, started some topsoil removal and stockpile. They have to kind of work their way down the site to build the road. And at the bottom of the site, the next big step is to build the sediment basin before they can really do the bulk excavation for the building and the building pad. So this was, whose drone was this? It was Glancy's?
Yeah, this was Glancy.
Yeah, so all right, Glancy got a couple shots for us of the site when they cleared it. But yeah, as you drive along the Old Oakdale Road, you'll see the activity ramp up on that project as well. General contractor issued a schedule. All the contractors have agreed to it. So the baseline schedule is in place, and it's early in the schedule, but they're right where they thought they'd be. That's kind of the update for the 2 projects that are ongoing. Any questions related to the bus depot maintenance facility from any of the board members? Okay, thanks. I'll turn it over to Draw, and they can give you an update on the elementary school. Yep.
Good evening. You have 2 documents before you. One is the bid tabulation from our bid results on the elementary school. And another one is a summary that includes alternate bid discussions. So the project at the elementary school, the base bids, which encompass the new school, its associated parking lots, sidewalks, driveways, everything to make the new school. Essentially, that number came in at $84,897,610. There are a plethora of options that make it really confusing to look at the document that our team is going to be working on as we go forward. The 8.5 by 11 document hopefully will help a little bit because it kind of illustrates some of the alternate bids, and I'll go over those just in brief. The base bid number is roughly $10 million under PJ Dick's estimate. So we did get good bids and really good participation from contractors. We'll be working with the school district to determine what is within their final budget when it comes to alternate bids and so forth. But on that form, there are a list of alternate bids that are add alternates, so adding to the base bid number. So it increases that number as you determine to select them or not. So we have a number of things. We have a salt storage building that is about $66,300 based on the bids, the low bids. A maintenance storage building that is $1,010,305. The construction of tennis courts and their electrical component, lights and so forth, $775,000. We bid the playgrounds for the buildings separate, partially because we know we have 3 years to build playgrounds, and we weren't sure exactly how much the playgrounds were going to cost. And it did vary wildly on the bids. And so that'll be something to talk about, whether we actually ask the general contractor to do that or decide to do it as a subcontract. That number is $2,020,000. We took a bid for the concession stand and the synthetic turf field, and it includes lighting also. That total was $1,949,900. And then we have an overflow parking lot that is a part of the design that is in between the intermediate school and the new elementary school. The cost of that and its lights is $395,300. So we have these buckets of large items. There are many alternate bids, as you will see on the form by contract, that are manufacturer alternates. Part of that is so that we can increase competition and give the school district an option to choose one product over another product. Some products are different than each other. Several of them are electrical and HVAC systems. Steve and his facility group wanted to make sure they had choices, and they could see the difference between one manufacturer's price and another one, because they are not 100% apples to apples from one company to the other. So we'll be working through a lot of detail over the next few days to be able to nail that down with the district and where we really stand on a lot of the numbers, as well as the fact that the contractors get about 36 hours to hold their bids, to validate that they haven't made a mathematical error. And for us, we are concerned about the low bidders, making sure that everyone stays in that is a low bidder, but also making sure if somebody's made a mathematical error, you don't really want to approve them if you can, if you don't have to, because they start the job in the negative. So that wouldn't be good. As you can see, after tonight, maybe you'll get a chance to peruse the numbers and see how close the numbers are to each other. Most of the bids, if the low bidder has another low bidder that is very close to them. So we feel fairly confident that everyone understood the drawings, they understood the project in general, and the district got good competition. But again, we'll be checking in with all the low bidders and we'll let you know if anything changes on these sheets if someone drops out. There are 5 prime contracts. I didn't explain that. There's a general construction, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, and food service. So that's, you'll see each one of those pages with the selected. Most of the contracts we got 8 bidders or so per contract on all the bigger ones, which was pretty fantastic. So contractors were very interested in their project. Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Budget presentations. Jennifer Donovan.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. Again, I'm Jennifer Donovan, the Director of Communications, and my budget is very, very similar to last year's, with just one line item to discuss the variance of $2,000. And that is the last line for dues and fees. I've requested to be able to participate in an academy through the National School Public Relations Association. And that's a professional development academy that will provide, training relevant to my position. So that's the only change that is of significance. Are there any questions? Thank you. Have a good night.
Dr. Chuck Herring.
Good evening, everyone. Very similar to Ms. Donovan. I have very little change to my my budget. There's only one line and there's no variances at all. But I did add a line item for professional development and conference registration for $500 just to quite possibly go to some conferences here locally that will help me with the position here to better support the school. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob.
Good evening. I just have a couple line items to go over tonight. I think Dr. Callison is going to go over the instructional technology portion in another meeting. The first line item I'd like to discuss is 10/28/18/650. There's an addition of CyberNut Security Awareness Training Program. It's something we've been doing here. It was part of the state and local cybersecurity grant program. They've since the funding it did pay for the program completely. Now, the last email I got, it looks like it's about 57%. So the number that's in the budget is the remaining balance there. That could change. It could go down. It could go up a little bit. It all depends on they're having everybody reapply and they're figuring out what is available to disperse on there. The next line item is 10/51/47/66, a decrease of $6,137. That is due to the intermediate school lease that we discussed last month. That are the only two line items that I had to discuss tonight. Overall, so in the technology budget, including what they're going to be presented by Dr. Callison, it's a decrease of $4,747. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, good evening. I'll be presenting three budgets here: the business office, superintendent's office, and the school board budget. Starting first with the business office, we have a few line item adjustments. The first one being contract services, decrease of $7,830. That is due to our biannual OPEB review not being required this year. That is an audit requirement. We have to do it every other year. We did it this current school year, so next year that is off the books for the year. Next line item is tech maintenance services. That is for the increased costs of our CSIU financial system. We are in year 5 of the agreement we signed when we re-upped with CSIU. The pricing as part of that contract is slowly ramping up over the course of the agreement. And we'll continue to see, I believe, one more year of ramp up pricing before we're at the full cost. The next line item would be advertising. This is something I worked with Mr. Radage on the human resources side to kind of make sure we had a responsible advertising budget district-wide. After reviewing where we are this year, where we've been in previous years, I did decrease that budget by $3,000 within my own office on the business end of things. So that is a net decrease for the business office of $5,580. Moving next to the superintendent's office, there actually are no variances meeting the $2,000 threshold. A couple of minor increases there due to just cost of items going up pretty much district-wide, but nothing that meets the $2,000 threshold. there is a departmental increase of $1,250. And then finally, within the school board budget, there is only one item of a notable increase that is on insurance premiums. This is where we pay for our student accident and school leader liability insurance. We will have final numbers for those policies in early June in advance of the budget being finalized. For now, based on industry standards and conversation with our insurance broker, I'm showing an increase there of around 7% over our existing year budget, which gives us about a $3,074 increase in that line item. Any questions on any of those three departments?
Thank you, Mr. Mealy. There will be a special board meeting for construction matters, March 30th, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the Pride Room. Now the consent agenda, we have 3 items. Do I have a motion to approve the 3 items in the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Joe. Second by Teresa. All in favor? Nays? Motion's carry. No new or old business. And Dr. Miller, Superintendent's monthly report.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. So many of you know that we have had several losses recently. And so I wanted to discuss and share with you some of the supports that we have in place, as well as looking to the future, some things that we're considering as we move forward. Many of us are seeking answers to our recent loss in our community. And we've had inquiries regarding the services that we provide throughout the school year, and specifically postvention services that we provide following a crisis or traumatic event. The purpose of my update tonight is to provide the community an overview of these services. It's not meant to be comprehensive, but to provide an overview of the programs, services, and resources that are available to our students and families, as well as staff. The district employs a dedicated support staff services team, which includes a director, assistant director, school psychologist, social worker, and we have counselors across all of our buildings. In addition, we have student assistant programs, also often referred to as SAP teams, and those are composed of counselors, teachers, administrators, nurses, and community behavior health liaison. They're very active in the middle and high schools to address social, emotional, and mental health issues affecting a student's education. Our district also provides comprehensive student social emotional learning instruction and supports for our students in grades K to 12. The district strategy adheres to a tiered model. The multi-tiered system of supports, often referred to as MTSS, is considered a framework to deliver a continuum of care that increases in intensity based on student need. The tiered approach is designed to address the needs of all students. We initially have our Tier 1 core instruction, and typically we would see that 80% of our students' needs are met in Tier 1. These are typically called universal preventions. This includes our PBIS programs, that's the South Fayette Way, to be safe, be kind, be responsible. It includes second step lessons that we have in K to 5, as well as many teachers use brain breaks, mindfulness routines, sometimes restorative circles. We also have health curriculum in grades 6, 8, and 10, as well as health instruction built into our PE classes. And we have chill rooms at both the middle and the high school that are accessible to all students. The district also provides additional Tier 1 SEL instruction through assemblies and programs, and these vary from year to year based on needs and availability. We've done a lot through online safety and digital responsibility, having the FBI. Katie Ship will be actually coming here in the coming month. We've had motivational speakers focused on PBIS, resilience, and bullying awareness. Very popular is the Jim Basketball Jones assemblies at the elementary. Eric McElvaney, who was here at the high school as well. So there's just a lot of great opportunities for our students. We also have Tier 2 targeted intervention, and this is when our Tier 1 interventions aren't enough and that we need to be doing providing additional supports. These are available at all building levels. They often include small group counseling that would be with parent permission, check-in, check-out strategies, targeted SEL skill lessons, behavior intervention plans, SAP referrals, or supports. And then we also have tier 3, and these are our most intense interventions. Typically less than 5% of students in our district, but in really any district, are needing this level of intense supports. These might be, they're definitely individualized for counseling and therapy, maybe wraparound services, crisis intervention plans, alternative programming, and especially when a student returns to us after seeking outside help, we have reentry and postvention supports for that student and their family. As the district continues to mourn the loss most recently of one of our students, we also immediately began implementing postvention services that are aligned with best practices from UPMC STAR Center, focused on systemic risk management, reducing contagion, and rebuilding a culture of hope. The plan and services are currently active at the high school and will continue until the level of services are no longer needed. Our postvention response is really guided by 6 principles. Looking at safety first, that's immediately identifying, supporting, screening, and creating plans for students who are at an elevated risk, and always coordinating that with clinical providers and also informing parents. Consistency of communication, sending unified critical messages for the remainder of the school year, including and reminding everybody about warning signs and community resources. Focusing on connection over isolation. That really means increased adult presence, relational supports. We've had additional supports here, multiple social workers, psychologists, several AHN therapists, and we have several joining us tomorrow and tomorrow evening as well. We have layered supports to ensure that universal, targeted, and intense interventions are available to all. Family partnerships, we've been engaging caregivers, including phone calls to every parent of a child who we consider to possibly be at risk. And a return to school post-crisis plan for those who receive those intensive services. We want to make sure that we're supporting those students as they return. Additionally, we're also providing the following for any South Fayette student or family member tomorrow evening as part of our celebration of excellence here at the middle and high school. We've actually communicated that it will be available to all. We have professional support available to our entire community. Mental health professionals will be available. We're holding this at the intermediate school for informal check-ins. No insurance is required, but there's a time for them to ask either questions that they have, ways to talk to their children, or for children to receive support. And we also have a mobile grief therapy horse team. So Bella Terra Stables will be here. They'll be at the IS loading dock and providing grief therapy for anybody who is interested. And we also have a variety of printed literature for families. As we look to the future and as we move out of this stabilization process where we're focusing on interventions for all of those who are at risk, we move into next steps. And those really are characterized by parent and caregiver engagement. So we'll be hosting some parent forums on topics, not only to inform parents, but to also engage them in what they feel that we could be doing, but also making sure that they have knowledge of all the resources available. We also provide guided discussions on grief processing, coping strategies, help-seeking behaviors where it's necessary or where we find groups of students having that need. We've also increased our staff support systems, which is critical because we have, just as our families and our students are grieving, so is our staff. And so we're offering a variety of resources from daily check-ins or debriefs to access to our employee assistance programs, and also making sure that we are continually looking at what trainings are most appropriate and supportive of our staff. And we're also providing, we actually had this scheduled since January, but Dr. Melissa Nelson from the University of Pittsburgh will be joining us to do a safety and crisis internal audit. We had that planned well before we started to have the most current concerns. But we're going to be looking at all of our protocols and procedures to look at what we can do internally to better our practices. In addition, we will be looking at ongoing mental health support. So looking at possibly a community advisory council on mental health, looking at what resources that we have available, and intensifying our prevention, integration, looking to strengthen our programs, that we're looking at what we do have available and what might we do to refine, enhance, or add to our programs and our instruction that we have here in our district. And then I think it's really important that we are very mindful of the anniversaries and sometimes the triggers for others regarding trauma, whether that trauma occurs here or in our greater community or region. We want to make sure that we're here and we're thinking about those and trying to provide the resources necessary for our students, faculty, staff, and families. I believe that we do have a strong foundation and continuum of services here in our school district, but we acknowledge that we can always improve by refining those programs, providing additional or more specific training, and considering programs that will better assist our students, families, faculty, and staff. But we also acknowledge that suicide is a complex topic. We believe that our partnership with our families and community resources will drive how we can help every Lion learner in our community to be healthy and well. In the near future, we look forward to forging continued partnerships, stronger partnerships, so that we can collectively all support our school community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. And Pernita, the student representative monthly report.
South Fayette students continue to demonstrate excellence across academics, art, athletics, and community engagement throughout the month of March. Notably, the South Fayette girls varsity basketball team secured the PIAA Class 5A championship, earning back-to-back state titles and showcasing exceptional dedication and teamwork. Students across the district engaged in meaningful school-wide initiatives focused on inclusion and community building. At the middle school, students participated in a Spread the Word Inclusion Spirit Week, encouraging awareness, acceptance, and celebration of individual differences while also supporting the life skills program through donations. The district also emphasized community service and outreach. At the elementary school, students participated in food donation efforts through initiatives such as Scouting for Food and Chow Wagon Month, supporting the Bridgeville Food Bank, and helping families in need within the local community. Students were provided with a variety of opportunities for engagement beyond the classroom. The high school drama club presented the musical Mean Girls, highlighting student talent in the performing arts, while intermediate school students participated in events such as the book fair, promoting literacy and family involvement. Additionally, South Fayette continued to prioritize student and family well-being through educational programming. The district hosted a digital safety parent workshop, equipping families with tools to support safe and responsible technology use, including topics such as cyberbullying, online relationships, and digital footprints. Looking ahead, students will have no school from March 30th through April 6th for spring break. Thank you.
Thank you, Pernita. First is the business office. We have 6 items today. Are there any questions on 1 through 6? Do I motion to approve business office items 1 through 6? Motion by Mike,
Second.
second by Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13 personnel items. Dr. Miller, could you help me with any that need read in?
Of course, we have items 1 through 13 that we'll be asking for consideration this evening. Item 1 is a recommendation to approve Mike Zemansky, our SPO, as our district safety and security coordinator. Item 2 are leaves of absence for Kara Garuba, Molly Mioch,
Selena Jones and Wendy Williams. Item 3 are EPRs, school nurse for Minithon, Megan Griffith, elementary school girls who can code, Melissa Unger, intermediate schools girls who can code, Melissa Unger, middle school bocce, paraeducator, Kara Garuba and Nancy Inarelli, a middle school bocce paraeducator, Austin March, middle school bocce substitute personal care paraeducator, Robin Westwood, high school homebound instructor, Glenn Stewart, sixth grade camp trip chaperone, Sarah Manley, Sarah Press, and Jesse Slenchak. Item 4 is resignations of Madison Baker and Valerie Martinek. Item 5 are volunteer coaches, Christian Gabriel and Terry Stites. Item 6 is a recommendation to approve Brooke Douglas as a first grade long-term sub teacher. Item 7 is a recommendation to hire Abigail Alazin as a building substitute teacher. Item 8 is a recommendation for the retirement of Tom Perpetua effective June 30th, 2026. I would just share that Tom has served our district for 16 and a half years. Item 9 is a recommendation to hire the following custodians: Harley Davidson, that is correct, and Ryan Cross. Item 10 is a recommendation for Penn West student Gabrielle Morrow to complete school counseling internship with Angie Lutzo at the high school. Item 11 is approval to hire Zaina Bulos Kennedy as a long-term high school English teacher effective April 7th to the end of the year. Item 12 is approval for James Lasagnola as the high school attendance administrative assistant. And item 13 is a recommendation to approve hiring Mihi Park as an IS paraeducator. I would ask for consideration for those 13 items.
Any questions on or comments on personnel? Is there a motion to approve items 1 through 13 in personnel? Moved by Esther. Second by Rebecca. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Education, there are 4 items. Are there any questions or comments on these 4 items? Is there a motion to approve items 1 through 4 in education?
So moved.
Moved by Jason. Second by Esther. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Nothing in transportation or athletics. Construction, there are 4 items. Are there any questions or comments on construction? Is there a motion to approve construction items 1 through 4?
So moved.
Moved by Len. Second. Second by Esther. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Solicitor's report.
No report.
I'm reporting that there on April 22nd, if you're interested in a virtual AI symposium, you can register on the PSBA website. And the other thing I wanted to report was that there is money for anyone that's interested in getting certification to become a special ed teacher. If you are already a teacher, you can fast track it. And if you're a paraeducator, you can also fast track it. So it's free money. If you're a Pennsylvania teacher, there are 11 universities in our state that you can earn the credits through and not have to pay for it. So there you go.
Thanks, Esther. Parkway.
Couple quick items from the most recent meeting we had in March, couple of dates coming up that I wanted to mention. So May 13th is the Parkway West CTC Senior Recognition Ceremony, which will be held at RMU this year. And June 17th is going to be the Parkway West CTC Annual Summer Career Exploration Camp for middle school students. And one more note, I recently had the privilege to go to the Parkway West CTC Welding and Fabrication Banquet, and it was very well attended. There were hundreds of students and parents that attended that banquet. It was put on by the instructors, Mr. Hughes and Mr. Supanik. But probably the most enjoyable part of it was mainly run by the students. They spent most of the time speaking, and it was enjoyable to hear because they had the opportunity to get up and speak about their time at Parkway and specifically about their experiences in the welding and fabrication program there, which I've learned is an exceptional program across the state and recognized even nationally. So again, that was an enjoyable experience that I got to attend this week. So I wanted to mention it.
Thanks, Tom. Joe, share stuff.
Just one announcement or reminder, and that is that the annual Shasta Breakfast will be held on Saturday, April 11th, 2026, and that will be held at the Hilton Garden Inn at South Point in Cannonsburg. That time of that breakfast will be at 9 a.m. And we will be celebrating 2 of our Lions students that morning. I know the deadline has passed, Dr. Miller, for joining that breakfast, but I think that we could probably finagle some additional spots if anybody is interested in celebrating 2 of our Lions students on Saturday, April 11th.
Thanks, Sean. Do I have a motion to adjourn our meeting? Okay, Rebecca and Jason, all in favor?
Aye.